Do it right, build wealth, live life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. It's on the new Black Wall Street. Here's your host. The new Black.
All right, beautiful people, man. Good morning to you. Good evening or good day. Hello. How are you guys doing? This is your boy ERGJ here. Gonna do a little crypto talk, crypto watch. Maybe you guys got some questions. We'll take a look at some things today. Before we get into our main session, which will be coming in about 2 hours at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But you know, the wonderful thing about this thing called crypto is open 24/7, 365. So whenever I feel like looking at it, that's when I start looking at it. Just never know. Man, I'm your host, ERGJ, certified financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, the Black Bazaar, international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. Book that wrote, guys, study of Black wealth, study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just truly believe that if you want to be wealthy, I recommend that you study wealthy people. All right, guys, you can find that book by simply going to the website, theblackbillionairesclub.com, theblackbillionairesclub.com. Pick up your copy today. We got about 9 copies of the final prints. So if you want to get a hard copy, you got 9 opportunities left, and then that will be it. And then once we finish selling those 9, I will start on book number 2, which I can't give you the title at because somebody might try to steal the title. But we'll be working on book number 2 to bring you the updated version of our Black billionaires. So you check out theblackbillionairesclub.com. Be one of the few to have an actual physical copy in your hand, and we'll look forward to being able to assist you and serve you in that manner. But anyway, let's get right to this thing here. You guys know the drill. You guys let us know where you're connected from. Do a quick roll call. What city, what state, what country, what city, what state, what country. And also hit one of those 3 buttons down there, the like button, the share button, the follow button, the subscribe button. You know, do all that you can to help your brother and sister out. You know, they're not going to listen to us anyway. They didn't listen when I was telling them about Bitcoin was 1,000. They didn't listen when I told them about 1,500. They ain't been listening for 4 years. So at this point, we can at least put it in front of them, and then they can decide whether they're going to listen to it or not. You know, it is what it is. And I am Captain Petty. Yes, I am Captain Petty, but I will keep rubbing it in their nose. I surely will, because I would expect them to do the same to me. Yep, that's what I would expect. So anyway, I see we got some people that are joining. I'm not going to start talking until somebody say hello, so we can be here all day just being quiet. But yeah, I'm not going to allow y'all to be rude like that. So until somebody says something like hello, good morning, good evening, how you doing, brother? I'm not saying a word. I'm not saying anything. I'm just going to keep it quiet. I might play a little tune. Do 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 do. There go Teresa Gully. There's the one. We got 5 people. We're gonna need at least 2 more people to say something. You know, 5 people watching. At least need 2 more people to type something. Yeah, before I get talking. I'm not. Yeah, y'all ain't gonna do me like that. Y'all can at least be. What it called? Be somewhat. What's going on, Joe White? How are you? Thank you so much, Tessa. Tessa Downs. Joe White, you must be from Australia. Tessa, where are you from, Tessa? What city or country or state? Yeah, there we go. Now we can start talking. Y'all want to have a little crypto talk. Teresa, what you doing on so early? It's so late. No, it's about 12 o'clock over there, huh, Teresa? Oh, what's going on? What's going on, Mark? Mr. Bailey? Good morning to you, big bro. How you doing, brother? All right. So good stuff, man. Good stuff. We do got some people here that's gonna engage with me. I don't feel like I'm talking to myself, looking at the screen. I appreciate you. Our crypto talk. Let's talk crypto. Let's talk crypto. So we see here, guys, what do you do? I mean, what do you say when, you looked at Bitcoin, it was 40,000, said, when you looked at Bitcoin, it was 20,000, said it was too much. And then you looked at Bitcoin, it was 30,000, said it was too much. And you looked at Bitcoin, it was 40,000, said it was too much. And now you're looking at Bitcoin, it's 50,000. You're probably saying the same thing. And you got to ask yourself at some point, when is enough enough? How much pain do you got to go through thinking that something is too much when you really haven't determined the value of said thing. Here's the lesson I want to teach you today, right? Let's put this, make sure you put this in the comments below. This is what my mentor taught me. He says this: price is what you pay, value is what you get. Price is what you pay, value is what you get. Here's a lesson for you today. Price is what you pay, value is what you get. Now, let's understand this concept. In the comments below, I want you to think about something, right? I want you to think about something that's in your house right now. And typically, I like to go to your closet. I like to go to your closet. Something that you paid a price for, but you never wore. When I think about this, I think about these blue shoes, these blue like mountain type shoes. I thought they were dope. I thought they would go around with an outfit, but I didn't have no blue outfits. And it was some nice shoes I never wore. I paid a price for them, but I didn't get much value out of them. What you think about something that's in your house right now, something that if you paid money for, and you don't feel like you got the value out of it based upon the price that you paid for. You paid more than it was worth to you, right? And I mean, it's worth less. It's just worth less to you. In this particular case, those shoes were worth less than what I paid for. I never wore them. I end up eventually my feet got too big, and then I had to give them away. So they became valuable to somebody else who didn't pay for them, but got them probably for free or pennies on a dollar. And it might have been more valuable for them based upon the prices they paid for them after I gave them away. But to me, they were valueless. Now, why am I coming to this example? Because I want us to get to the point of understanding that, man, our money can bring value into our household, but it's not about the price. It's about the value. And so if you learn to exchange your dollars or your currency, whatever currency you have in your country, for things that bring value into your life, you'll never be broke. Now, that's a hard thing to really comprehend what I just said there. If you learn to exchange your currency, your money, whatever country you are, for things that bring value back into your life, you'll never be broke. Because you always have things that are more valuable than what you paid for them. Am I making any sense to anybody? Now let's look at this from the other side, because y'all ain't really y'all got y'all thinking now. Y'all like, it's too early, it's too late for me to be thinking. This brother got me thinking at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know to do that. I don't know to be dreaming, but now I'm thinking. Oh my goodness. Let's do it on the other side. I want you to think about something that you paid for, that you got way more value out of it. Think about something. What's something that you have in your house, something that you've used, something that as you think about, you say, man, you know, what I got out of that versus what I paid for. Oh my goodness, the value that I got versus the price that I paid, I feel like it enriched me. I feel like I got more than my money's worth. When's the last time you did something like that? Put that in the comments below. Price is what you pay, value is what you get. When's the last time you paid for something you feel like, man, I got so much value out of that? You feel like you cheated it. You feel like you cheated whoever you paid for. You feel like, man, I did not. I got too much value out of that. I gotta go give them some money. Put that in the comments below. Now, why am I talking about this? Right? Price is what you pay, value is what you get. Because a lot of times people will say something is too expensive because they're looking at the price, but they're not really looking at the value. Or on the flip side, there may be someone who has a service that they're providing or something like that. They're looking for clients, but they haven't really shown people the value that they bring. Therefore, they don't get the price that they want, or they don't close the deal because they haven't really shown value. Right? Now I'll bring it back to me because, you know, y'all don't want to talk about y'all, so I'll bring it back to me. Oh, Marcus Bailey. Marcus Bailey said something. Okay, Mr. Bailey said something. I buy plants, but I buy them to be able to flip them. Works really well for me. Bought a $10 plant, separated it 4 times, and sold 3 for the price of 1 plant that I bought. You're a brother. You are a smart brother. Okay? He buys plants, whatever kind of plants he's talking about. He flips the plants. He bought a $10 plant. He was able to separate it. So, I mean, I guess he was able to make 4 plants out of 1. I guess that's what he did. And then he sold 3 of them for the price of that 1 plant that he bought. And he was able to keep that 1 plant. Wait a second. So the 3 plants that you sold, did you sell them all at $10 a piece? So that way you turned a $10 plant into $30, meaning that you had $20 of profit and you kept 1 plant. I think that's what you're saying. I think that's what you're saying. Oh, what's up, Mr. Pendleton? I appreciate you, brother. Thanks so much. You're listening. Okay, great. Okay, I get it. I get it. Okay, good. All right, that's good, right? He bought something. He was able to separate it or multiply it, right? Everybody put in console multiply. He was able to multiply it. And because he was able to multiply it, and those things that he multiplied still had value, he was able to go and sell those things, bring profit or bring money into his storehouse. That's a smart move, right? Smart move. Got way more value out of it than what he paid for. Now, some of you guys, you offer services and products and things like that. You're peddling your stuff out into the marketplace. You're trying to find people to buy. But I'm telling you, once you begin to show people the value or the benefits, you're going to get way more customers than what you can imagine. But when you're only out there trying to compete on price, you're gonna find yourself broke, busted, and disgusted, or you're gonna have to find yourself in a game of volume because you're now trying to compete based on price and not competing based on value. You understand what I'm saying? Kevin Kamal, I said, man, I got a free truck. I used it for work for a better one. Now I got two. Man, I'm talking about getting value out of it. Got something free, used it. Used it. Oh, that's so important. He used it. And now he's got two. He turned something that was free, that had value. He used that. He used it, the product. He used the item. He used what he got, and then he was able to turn it into double. All right, that's double for his trouble, and not much trouble at all. So we begin to understand this concept again. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. You begin to have a whole new perspective on things that you spend your money on. Understanding that, hey, if I waste my money and I just spend my money on things that don't really bring me value or things that bring me temporary, satisfaction or something like that, you realize, man, I'm just really exchanging this thing that I worked hard for, these dollars, and I'm just basically giving it away. In other words, you're prostituting yourself. You're turning your spending habits into some whore habits. I'm just going to keep it real with you. But then when you say, you know what, I'm going to make a concerted effort. I'm going to be serious about this thing and make sure that every dollar that I spend, as much as I can afford to, and as much as I work on this new way of thinking, I exchange it for things that bring value back to me and my household. I'm telling you, you'll find yourself in a position where you'll never be broke another day in your life because you're always getting more value than that what you are spending. So then that changes the consciousness from price conscious to value conscious. So when you look at something like this, Bitcoin, or you look at a stock or something like that, you start looking at most people start by looking at the price. They say, oh, that's $30. I can't afford that. That's too much, right? Let me look at something else. Oh, that's a penny. It's 20 cents. Oh, that's got to be worth it. Really? Just because it's 20 cents, just because it says it's 20 cents, you think it's valuable? Not necessarily. Well, so when you begin to understand value, you start looking at things from a value perspective, and you don't care how much it costs, right? You don't care how much it costs. What you're concerned about is the value that it brings. You'll be able to find these things that we call great deals. Oh man, this is very valuable, but it only costs this much. Look at the value that it brings. Very, very interesting. So, Mr. Pillow, you say, hey, don't mean to interrupt. Okay, what you did. But what are some inexpensive crypto that you have assets in? What are some inexpensive? What do you consider to be inexpensive? Again, now we're talking about price again. What do you consider to be inexpensive? I can't answer that question until I know what you consider to be inexpensive. Because inexpensive to me and inexpensive to you are two different things. So what do you consider to be inexpensive since you use that word? Now, this is the very easy question to answer, quite honestly, right? Because when I say have assets, it really just means that I'm looking at it, I'm paying attention to it, that I'm interested in it. And I have this thing called a watch list. So I can show you my watch list, which is very easy to do. And then you can see prices of it and see if you consider those things to be inexpensive. So Bitcoin is 50,000, Ethereum is 1,800, Bitcoin Cash is 702, Litecoin is 215, Stella Loomis is 48 cents. Is that inexpensive? I don't know, right? The graph is $2. Compound is $431. CeeLo is $4.40. Maker is $2,400. EOS is $465. I don't know what you consider to be inexpensive. Chainlink is $31. Tezos is $4.46. Cosmos is $23.74. Algo is $1.29. Band is $16.13. Kyber is $2.03. New Cipher is 72 cents. Dogecoin 5 cents. Almost $25. DAI is $1. Are any one of these that you seek you consider to be inexpensive? Right? If that answers your question. Free to 20. Okay, well, you see quite a few that are, none of them are going to be free, but you see between $20. But again, I would caution you as I'm trying to teach this lesson. Price is what you pay, value is what you get. It could be inexpensive, but what's the value of it? What's the value of it? What's the value of it? If it's valueless, then the price that you pay still could be too much, even if it's 48 cents on the Lumens. If it's valuable, then you could feel like, man, 48 cents is a bargain. But if you don't determine the value of said thing, then the price doesn't matter. It could be 3 cents and it could still be valueless. But this is a new concept for many people because we normally shopping based on price instead of shopping based on value. Everybody putting console shop for value. I don't shop for price. I don't look at this stuff for price. I look at stuff for its value, right? If you are shopping, right? Price is what you pay, value is what you get. So that's a good question that Mr. Pillar is asking. So he's saying, hey, well, how do you determine value? That's a great question. Anybody got any ideas? How do you determine value of something, said thing? How do you determine the value of said thing? And really, when we're talking about the value of cryptocurrency specifically, we're talking about its future value, the possibilities of it, what it was here to do. So how do you determine the value of said thing, especially if you're looking at it from a long-term perspective? Somebody give me that. Give me some understanding here. How do you determine? This is a great question. This is a great question for us to answer together. I think 10 heads are better than one, so we're not going to put it all on me to try and figure out this answer. You guys just happen to be up right now. You happen to see this on your timeline. I think God wants you to participate in this conversation. How do you determine the value? What are some questions that you might want to ask when it comes down to trying to look at the value of said thing? I'll wait. I know y'all was like, oh no, he's just gonna give us all the answers. He gonna just do what ERGJ do. No, not tonight. Not tonight. We're gonna have a group discussion. We're gonna learn together. How do you determine the value of something? How do you get some inkling of the value of something? I'll give you a clue while you guys are still thinking over there, because y'all is turning like butt over there. It comes down to, it's going to start with asking the right questions. Now, the good book says this: ask and you shall receive. That's true, right? Ask and you shall receive. So if you ask a question, you'll get an answer. But here's the problem with that. If you ask the wrong question, you're going to still get the right answer to the wrong question, and you're going to still be befuddled. So you learn how to ask the right questions, then you'll start to get the right answers. You'll start to find the right answers, seeking you'll find. And then now you start getting to this place called wisdom, because you're asking good questions. And then therefore it's bringing you some solid answers. You ever been around? Now y'all know what to say. Y'all know what people say there's no such thing as a stupid question. Well, yes, it is. I'm sorry. That's a myth. There is such thing as stupid questions. Questions that are all in left field, don't lead you nowhere. Now, you may not think it's stupid, and people try to pacify you. I'll tell you that's not a stupid question, but you knew when it came out of your mouth, it was kind of a stupid question. But that's okay. It's good that we still have these conversations. No one's going to shoot you down for asking a question, but just know that there are some questions that are better than others as it relates to you getting to answers that's going to help you make decisions. How many guys know some people that ask a whole bunch of questions that don't lead them to making a decision? No, you have a little conversation with them. Maybe they're pondering on something they want to do. Maybe they want to take a vacation, or they're thinking about starting this business, or whatever the case may be. Then you hear the questions that are coming out of their mouth. You're like, You're like, that's not going to help you get to an answer, or that's not going to help you make a decision. But they're still asking these questions, trying to get information that doesn't lead them to making a decision. So therefore, it's a waste of time. They're just gathering more info. They got plenty of info. And this is what we do all the time. We ask questions that don't lead us to a decision. And therefore, we either miss out or we don't take advantage. Am I making any sense to anybody? So what are some questions that you might want to ask as it relates to trying to determine the value of said thing that you don't know about? Now, Mr. Pendleton, since you asked us a great question, I don't know if that's a Hawks jersey you got on, but answer this for me, Mr. Pendleton. Which one of these said things that we don't know anything about would you like for us to look at today? So as we could try to determine value of said thing that we don't know nothing about. You said you was looking for something that was inexpensive. So pick something that you feel is inexpensive, that's in your price range, that we can try to determine some value for. Waiting on Mr. Pendleton. Waiting on Mr. Pendleton. What's going on, brother C. Wright? Yeah, we having classes in session, brother. Crypto class. Crypto class is in session. We're now shopping for value, but it's hard to shop for value if we have not determined some type of value. So he said, Stella Loomis said, hey, I see something 48 cents. Let's start there. Let's start there. Crypto class is in session. So what's something that you might want to ask now? Anybody? Now we determine, we're asking this question, how do you determine value? How do you determine, let me put that up here. How do you determine value? Let me put that in the screen. Let me put that scrolling down the bottom. How do you determine value? Now, as I said earlier, how do you determine value? Price is what you pay, value is what you get. We got a real good example. I appreciate you participating with us, brother Pendleton. Say, hey man, where do you find some inexpensive stuff that you might be invested in? And we had this conversation. Say, hey man, inexpensive don't have nothing to do with the value of something. Now we got to how do you determine value? So now we picked that inexpensive thing that brother Pendleton wants us to look at, and then we're going to start figuring out how we can figure out some value for this stuff. And it's going to come down to the question that you asked. So let's see if you got anybody that's came up with some questions. Shop for value, supply and demand, right? Algo is more valuable than Dogecoin because it also pays 6%, but it also has more value to me than Doge. Okay. Man, go and buy $100 of algo. At least at that point, you're making automatic money by earning money. I hear that, right? So we're looking at Stella Loomis now. All right, we see the price, 48 cents. When was it established? Okay. When was it established? That's okay, so how long has it been around? I guess that's the start. How long has it been around? When was it established? Right? That could be a start. How about I'm gonna keep waiting. What else? What else is a good question to ask? Y'all are intelligent people. I know I know you're not used to coming onto the stream and somebody's kind of making you think a little bit, but that's what I do. Because I'm not here to give you a fish. I'm here to teach you how to fish. That's the difference. I can very easily answer Mr. Pendleton's question, but that won't put him into a position of anything. Right? I'm not here to give you a fish. I'm here to teach you how to fish. That way you can eat for a lifetime. Everybody put in the console, eat for a lifetime. If I give you a fish, you eat for a day. If I teach you how to fish, you'll eat for a lifetime. I'm a teacher. I teach people how to fish. It just requires them to use their brain instead of their hands. And that's what we're going to do here today. What's going on, brother Lockhart? How you doing? What's my take on Ren? I don't have a take on Ren. We're in a process of working together to determine some value for this current coin that we're looking at. So I'm not going to get off track to look at Ren at this particular point. But I'll be more than happy to take a look at Ren in another session that we might have, because we don't have that kind of time. But right now we're going to do this, and then I'm going to get off, and I'm going to be back at 5 to do what we normally do. Right now we have a crypto lesson, crypto talk on this thing called Stella Loomis. I'm going to stay focused. Anybody else? Any questions? You trying to determine value of something that you don't know anything about? Trying to say, hey, is it worth 48 cents? Is it worth less than 48 cents? Is it worth more than 48 cents? What's some questions you might ask? We got one. When was it established? No problem, Brother Lockhart. You know what I'm saying? We're down like full flat. What's the future plans for growth? All right. What are they planning to do to grow the value, I guess you could say, of this thing? Great question. Anybody else? We got this? Hey, brothers. Y'all not gonna let the sisters, you know what I'm saying, outdo y'all with these questions. Okay, thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much. We got a bro up in here asking good. Okay, any news on it? Now, the interesting thing about the news, okay, so let me take that a little bit further, Brother Morgan. What are you looking for in the news? It could be all types of news that's out. I mean, people write articles all the time, right? So what type of news are you really looking for? Any news? I mean, because, you know, because if I was a reporter or a journalist or something like that, I'm gonna put some news out on something. My goal is to get you to read something. So I'm gonna put some news out, make it a nice little headline, and hopefully get you to read it. Hopefully get a whole bunch of other people to read it. So what are you really looking for in the news? What's his all-time high? Okay, let me try to answer some of these questions. Y'all answer. Okay, when was it established? We might find that out in a little bit. I don't know if we're gonna find it out. What are the future plans for growth? I like this question. That's a great question. That's a great question. Here we go. Okay. Oh, we got some good stuff. Okay, what's the all-time high? Okay, we can find out in just a second. I don't know how good. What's that going to? I guess we can take a look. Past performance does not dictate future. Future performance or past, whatever they say. Okay, are there any large organizations looking to adopt the coin? That's a great question, right? Look at this, Val Suo 112. That's off topic. I'm not answering anything that's off topic. I'm sorry. We're talking about Stella Loomis trying to determine value. Didn't they partner with IBM? Did they partner with IBM? Okay, joint ventures. So y'all talking about some joint ventures. Now y'all doing it. Okay, I just had to get y'all get a little. Y'all had to put a little liquor in your system, huh? Okay, so let's try to answer some of this stuff, right? So somebody said, okay, it's all-time high. It's all-time high. It was recent, right? Was recently here, something like this. I hate this chart, but base 60 cents. 60 cents was an all-time high. I don't know if that really helps you a lot. I mean, was it worth 60 cents? Was it not worth the 60? You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know just because it hit this high, if it was even worth it hitting that high. We do know that it looks like it's been around, for a while. I mean, maybe back in 2015 or so, it looks like roughly it's kind of when it kind of hit the scene, 2015. So when was it established? Right back in 2015. We see here, we had a high here of 93 cents back in January of 2017. So that's actually the all-time high. I looked at 1 year instead of the whole time frame. So back in January 2017, it went as high as 93 cents. Since that time, it came right back down to kind of where it was before at 4 cents or so, 7 cents, 5 cents, something like that. And that's kind of where it's been. And now it's starting to kind of move up again. So we can see where it's been. That's good. Now you said, let's go to the news, right? So we come down here and we can come to the news. So Signal is experimenting with Stellar-based cryptocurrency. So there's something, the Signal app, looks like private messaging app, is exploring its own digital payment offerings. That's pretty good. Y'all talked about partnerships. So if this adopts this, and I guess if Signal is a popular app for messaging, I don't know how many more messaging apps we need, but it's looking to maybe come out with its own digital payment offering. That could be pretty cool. That came out January 26th. Let's see here. They got a little foundation. So they got their own little, probably a nonprofit type of foundation or something. Ukraine signs agreement with Stellar Development Foundation to work on CBDC, digital asset strategy. So there's a partnership right there with Ukraine. Satoshi paid to become the first user of German banks euro. I don't know what that is. Stable coin. I don't know what that is. Stellar price went up 60%. This back in 2020. Stellar price rises 10%. USDC and Ethereum heads to Stellar. So something about heading to Stellar. So Stellar is its own network. We found that out. It's its own network, similar to like an Ethereum. It has its own network. They got their own foundation. It sounds like a nonprofit, but it's a development foundation. Developing what? Now we're starting to uncover some stuff, huh? So it's got a little value to it. It looks like, just based upon the news. I don't know. What do you think? That's pretty cool. All right. I think the number one question I want to know, if I was trying to find out something about something I did not know, the very first question I'm gonna ask is, what is it? What is Stellar? And the beautiful thing about this thing called Coinbase, they'll play this little video for you. You get paid to watch it. Oh, 1 second.
Today, financial infrastructure has a big communication. Today's global financial infrastructure has a big communication problem. There are a lot of different currencies and a lot of different payment systems. Each one speaks a different language, so they have a hard time understanding each other, which makes moving money slow and expensive, and a lot gets lost in translation. Stellar's vision is to unite the world's financial infrastructure so money can flow quickly and cheaply between banks, businesses, and people. The internet connected the world's computers so information could be shared globally. Stellar is doing the same for money. To accomplish this vision and ensure integrity and neutrality, Stellar is not a bank or a business. Instead, it's a decentralized open network supported by a nonprofit foundation that handles every currency and speaks to every payment system in its native language. That means businesses can move money globally in seconds, no matter what bank they use back home. And people all over the world can use Stellar to send money to family overseas, to convert one currency to another, or to make payments that are too small to cover fees traditionally charged by today's institutions. In the future, Stellar hopes that you won't have to use traditional infrastructure to get your money where you want it to go. Instead, you'll just use Stellar.
Now, did you hear a little bit about what it is? Right? What it is. Stellar unites the world's financial infrastructure so money can flow quickly and cheaply between banks, businesses, and people. Let me ask you this. How valuable is it to be able to move money cheaply and quickly between banks, businesses, and people? How valuable is that? How valuable is that? If they're able to solve this problem. Now, I don't know about let me let you guys talk and answer some of these questions, right? Because I can't be the one that's answering everything for you. How valuable? What you just heard? What did you hear? Some value? Did you hear some value? Huh? I heard a lot of different things that were like, oh, okay, this could be something. Could be something. Probably will be something. It's gonna take a while for it to be adopted. Right, but I heard. Here's what I heard. I heard, and again, this is where your ears start getting attuned to this thing we call opportunity. Everybody put in console opportunity. You start to be able to hear this thing called opportunity. It begins to pringle in your ear. You'd be like, oh, okay, because you've missed. We start moving past all the fluff, and you get to the stuff that really kind of matters. Here's some of the stuff that really matters. They have a nonprofit that's backing this particular project. A nonprofit. So then it will make me say, okay, well, let me go find out about nonprofit. Who supports the nonprofit? Who's donating to the nonprofit? Who's helping this nonprofit to be a thing, which is now a nonprofit is pushing this thing similar to like you might see with a Goodwill, a nonprofit or the NFL, the NBA or NFL. NBA was a nonprofit, right? So we got this nonprofit that's pushing this project to be able to allow money to flow, this project to be able to move money to flow quickly and cheaply between banks, businesses, and people. Now you got to say, well, it just seems like this might sound like it might be the future. There's some other things that hinge on this as well, because right now we have this SEC thing going on, as Mr. Bailey said, with this thing called XRP, which is is looking to solve a problem. It's looking to unite the world's financial infrastructure. And if successful, how valuable is the Stellar coin on top of this nonprofit type of network thing they got going on? First, I mean, now does this make sense? Like, first, I might want to find out what it is if I'm trying to determine value. Now, if you don't care about value, then you're just trading a chart. That's fine too. Because somebody asked me about Algo up here. Like, you got in at 112. Why I don't know why you would exit. Why would you exit Algo? Why are you even thinking about exiting Algo? And see, that tells me you need to be in my class. Why are you even thinking about exiting Algo? That don't make any sense to me. I wouldn't exit it at all. Unless I'm just trying to capture my profit and put it back into my wallet. I'll answer that for you. Well, let's get back to XLM. So now we begin to kind of understand, what they're trying to do, what problem they're looking to solve. That's another good question. What problem are they looking to solve? The things that solve problems in this world make a lot of money, become very valuable. There's a whole bunch of people that complain about the problem. There's only a few people, institutions, organizations, and now cryptocurrencies that's trying to solve those problems. They found a problem they're looking to solve, right? It unite the worlds. And that's not just the United States. It's not just Australia, the world. Trying to unite the whole world, trying to make it one infrastructure, basically unite everything. And take out all the central banks and all that good stuff. That's pretty audacious, isn't it? Now, I don't know about you, but how many guys are interested in learning about this foundation? I mean, that's pretty significant to me. They got a stellar foundation or something like that. What is that? Stellar Development Foundation. Now I'm trying to go over here and say, hey, wait a second. They said something about this foundation that I don't know nothing about, right? And now we're here. Why what we do matters? Okay, do they even matter? This is a good thing to read. The way that the global financial establishment is structured today, people are born into an ecosystem just like they're born into a political system. Stellar is a way out. It lets people participate in a worldwide stable financial network regardless of where they live. So I can do business with my brothers and sisters in Nigeria. I can do business with my brothers and sisters in Australia. For example, using Stellar, a family in Venezuela can keep some of its savings in dollars or in euros and protect itself from the local economic upheaval without having to keep bills under the mattress or to operate through a gray market broker. Hey, take a look at they're talking about Zimbabwe, all these different countries that have inflation. I think everybody knows about inflation now. Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Argentina, and United States represented by these different core. What they're building. So now you start coming over here. If you really want to know about value, you start researching that which it is that you're interested in. If you don't care about value, now there's a way to go about this thing and not care about value, right? That would be if you're trading. If you're trading, basically you're trading based upon price. You don't care about the value. But if you start looking at, the opportunity for the future, you might say, well, hey, now that I found out about a little bit of Stella, I might want to buy it, and I might want to just code this thing long term in case they actually crack the code. Right? Tesla Down said, man, considering people come from all over the world and need to support families back home and businesses, operating businesses globally, this would be very valuable. So this could be a situation where you say, man, I don't want to just trade this. I.e., I want to look at it. Okay, I'll give you an example. I might come over here and I say, okay, if I'm trading and I don't know anything about XLM or anything about what their goals are, what they're trying to accomplish, what problem they're looking to solve, I might just want to trade it, right? I might like the chart. Let's see if I can find it. I might just like the chart. I want to trade it. Okay, let's talk about trading. Okay, let's take a look long term. I took at this thing. I see, man, long term, this thing kind of been moving up in value over time, right? This is like probably a couple years. Back in 2020, we see the stair step going on. We see the long green mile. Take the stair step, long green mile up to an escalator. Now it's on its way back down. Go a little bit closer. We see that long escalator coming up. We see the retraction that's taken place here over the past couple of days since the 13th or the 14th. So it's actually on its way kind of down. Now we see this. We see the retraction still. It's actually on its way down. So right now it's bringing us back. It's bringing us back into a space where it's less expensive. If that's all you're concerned about is price, then you probably need to be a trader because that's all that matters. So I'm just looking at this thing over the past 15 minutes. This thing came all the way down to 46 cents. We know it's kind of on a decline. Now we're trying to see if it's going to break to actually start to move back up. It did not. Right? It's still a lower high, so this thing is still coming back down, more than likely. All right? We have a lot of volume over here, so there's a lot of trading going on for this particular coin at this particular point, and it's probably because it's inexpensive. But you can take it from another perspective. You can say, well, yeah, it may be inexpensive, but if I see the long-term value and I believe that they're able to crack the code, then I'm able to get something that's super inexpensive right now that can pay me a whole bunch later. So you see how I got two different hats on. I got two different hats on at this point. I can look at it from a trading perspective. I'm trading price. Doesn't matter what it is. It's price. I'm going to try to get this thing low and I'm going to sell it high. But then I'm looking at, or I can look at it from an investing standpoint. Man, I want to get Stella because I believe in their future. I believe in what they're trying to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? A nonprofit organization, I can support them. On the coin, and then as time goes by, 6 months, a year, year and a half, 2 years, I might see my 48 cents turn into $48,000. Who knows? It's all about your belief. Everybody putting console belief. It's all about what you believe. Am I making any sense to anybody? It's all about what you believe. That's what I believe. Now, I don't trade Stella. I don't own Stella. Well, I do own some Stella on my other account. All right, I do own some Stella. But let's keep going. Might as well get the rest of these videos in while we're here. I mean, that'd be smart. Let's go and find out what are the XLM, the thing that we're trading or the thing that we're owning. Something like that. All right, I guess I got to turn the sound on, huh?
To help make this possible, Stellar is a platform that connects banks, payment systems, and people so they can easily move money anywhere in the world. To help make this possible, Stellar has created a cryptocurrency, the Lumen. The Lumen is the native asset of the Stellar network. It serves as a kind of universal translator between each currency. Here's how. Imagine a business in the United States needs to pay a supplier in China. They've got US dollars in their bank account in Kansas City, but they need the payment to show up as Chinese yuan in the supplier's account in Guangzhou. What can they do? They could send money the traditional way via international wire transfer, but that's slow. International wires take several days to clear. Complicated. In many cases, funds move through multiple intermediary banks before reaching their destination. And expensive. Each intermediary takes a percentage of the transaction in fees. As money moves around the world, the fees pile up, and the business in Kansas City loses more and more of its hard-earned cash to unnecessary middlemen, as does the supplier in China. By comparison, what if the business used Stellar? Stellar has a decentralized exchange built right into the protocol. It can route a payment in US dollars through its order books, so it comes out on the other end as Chinese yuan automatically. If there's no good offer to exchange dollars for yuan, lumens act as an intermediary. Stellar simply converts dollars into lumens, and then converts lumens into yuan, all in under 5 seconds, and for a fee of 1/10,000th of a cent. In addition to serving as a universal currency translator, lumens also protect the integrity of the network by preventing spam. Transaction fees are paid in lumens, and every Stellar account has a minimum balance too. The transaction fees and minimum balance are low enough that legitimate users don't really notice them, but high enough to disincentivize spammers. Lumens are a critical component of the Stellar protocol. They allow it to be efficient, scalable, and they serve as a universal translator for assets. So you can move funds cheaply, but not too cheaply, with the transparency and security only a decentralized blockchain can provide. That's a big step forward for financial infrastructure, all thanks to Stellar.
Now, so what did you hear there? What did you hear there? We're trying to determine value. I mean, my goodness, right? Low cost universal payments. Now, for anybody that's from another country or something like that, I know we got some people that might be joining us from different places. If you're in a different country, if you're somewhere right now other than the United States, go ahead and put in the comments below what country you represent. I'd love to see who's here, who's joined us live, who's watching this with us, who says, you know what, we're gonna get this learned, we're gonna get our education on. If you're from some other place right now, you're watching, you hear the sound of my voice, put in the comments below what country you are in right now. So just think about this, like low cost universal payments. You know, if anybody has sent any money overseas or you've done any type of what we call like a foreign exchange or something like that, you know how expensive it is. You know how expensive it is to go from the US dollar to the Australia, whatever, money they use in Australia. You know how expensive that is. But what if you could do that exchange, right, for less than 1/10 of a penny? by just transacting this thing, converting it to a Stellar, and sending that Stellar over to somebody else, and they go and convert that Stellar back to their money. How much time, how much money, how much more efficient is that? Is that valuable? Is that worth more than 48 cents per coin? Right? What's going on, Kevin? That's cool. I appreciate Hawaii. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. I need to come on. I need to come on over to the west side. Right? Conversion in less than 5 minutes versus days. Right? Saving money and cutting out the middleman. So now you might start rumbling in your head. Okay, how valuable is this? What's the future value of it? Is the price that it is right now, 48 cents, worth the value that it may bring to the community or to society or to the marketplace or to the financial arena? What's the value of that? Right? Now, of course, you don't always, again, price is what you pay, value is what you get. Everybody put that in the comments below. Price is what you pay, value is what you get. So if you say to yourself, my goodness, I'm paying 48 cents for something that I believe to be way more valuable if I just hang on for a while. And then you let the price catch up to the value. Now you put yourself in a position where you can build wealth for yourself. But it's all about belief. It's all about what you believe. I'm not trying to convince you of one thing or another. I'm just trying to have a dynamic conversation with you so you can begin to think in different angles, different ways, right? And then when we have people that come together and start talking about this stuff, you start coming up with something. She just threw in the whole 5 minutes versus day stuff. I wasn't even thinking about that. You see what happens when the power of thought comes together and we start lighting all these candles, right? From one wick to the other, there's none that goes out, but they all get lit and we bring a bright light to a dark place. You understand what I'm saying? But that requires for people to participate in the conversation and not just listen to the conversation. Let's keep going. Am I making any sense to anybody? Now you're starting to learn. Now you're starting to learn about why this thing is even a thing. Why it was even created.
This is Maria. She lives in the United States. And this is Maria's mom, Paulina. She lives in the Philippines. Today, Maria wants to send her mom $20. This is called a remittance. Remittances are money sent to support a family member in another country. And they're a very big deal. The World Bank estimates that global remittances are over $600 billion every year. Unfortunately for Maria, sending a remittance is pretty expensive. Her bank in the US has no connection to her mom's bank in the Philippines, so she has to use a money transfer service, which means paying a lot of fees. One popular American service charges a 3% conversion fee, and the transfer takes 3 to 4 days. The same service also offers to do the transfer faster, but for an additional fee of $9.99. If Maria used this service to send $20, it would mean half the amount would be spent on fees. That's a huge percentage. And Maria and Paulina are not alone. The average fee globally for remittances is 7.1% of the transaction. And there are millions of people who pay these fees every day. But what if Maria used Stellar? Stellar is a decentralized platform that unites banks, payment systems, and people so they can easily move money anywhere in the world. If Maria used Stellar to send her $20 to Paulina, the Stellar network would convert her US dollars to Philippine pesos in less than 5 seconds. So Paulina would receive $20 worth of her local currency, not $20 minus fees. Stellar makes this possible by connecting financial institutions to the Stellar network, which has a built-in order book that exchanges assets. So Maria could send US dollars or any other currency to her mom, and it's converted automatically to Philippine pesos. That's the vision of Stellar.
Wow. Now look at this. All right, so we have the people sending money to family members overseas. Stellar offers a cheaper, faster alternative. Everybody put in console cheaper and faster. Now, let's keep going. As you begin to see this stuff, now you start to ask yourself questions like this. Why on earth would Nigeria's central bank be ordering the accounts to be closed on all crypto users? You see how we begin to connect. Why would they be doing this? The central bank, Now we just heard about, we're hearing or learning about this thing called Stellar, which is a disruptor for what the central bank does. So it would make it wouldn't be, there is no progress without a struggle. And so Nigeria just happened to be the one that's taking a hit for all of us in the United States and Australia. Nigeria is taking a hit right now, as they're trying to make an example out of people that are trying to undo this financial system. But unfortunately, it's time. The financial revolution is here, right? So they rely on these fees in order for them to continue to make trillions of dollars every year. And they have something that's beginning to mess with their money. And you know what they say, man, you mess with a man's money, you mess with his emotions. So now we're starting to see, wait a second. We literally have some things that have been created, and Stella's not the only one, but clearly it's one of them that's looking to mess with the old guard, the Proud Boys, the whatever you want to call it, right? All of the system is starting to mess with their money, and nobody likes their money to be messed with. Am I telling the truth? You don't want nobody come messing with your money. You got a nice little cash flow coming in. You got a nice little golden goose that's laying a golden egg, and it's been laying an egg for centuries or for decades at least. And then now you're having something that's going to come and disrupt your cash flow. You're going to try to protect it, right? You're going to fight back. That's what I do. I fight back. Oh, what's this, man? Hawaii just legalized. Hawaii just legalized all forms of crypto and blockchains to have a domestic free trade for the Pacific. Now, what is Kevin? I don't know what that means. When you say for the Pacific, what does that mean? For the Pacific. Is that from east to west? What is that? What is Pacific? What does that encompass? I'm not really familiar with that range or that term. And I'm really confused because I think Hawaii is a part of the United States, but you're saying that Hawaii itself. No, you said earlier we're talking about two different countries. I didn't get what you were saying when you said that. Please, Kevin, help me understand the dynamics in the best way you can in the shortest amount of form, because I know you're probably like, I got to type a whole lot of stuff. I don't want to have to do that. But you just said earlier that Hawaii represents two different countries or something like that. Hawaii is different. We have two countries here. So what? I did not know that. So I'm pineapples. I'm gonna learn today. I'm gonna act like I know everything. I'm trying to find out. The Ocean Pacific. So what are the two countries that are in Hawaii? Because obviously United States. Oh, so the Hawaiian Kingdom. Hawaiian Kingdom. What is that? Hawaiian Kingdom. I never heard of that. I guess I would have to be in Hawaii to know what the heck that is. What is that? What is this? Hawaiian Kingdom, or Kingdom of Hawaii, originated in 1795 when the warrior chief Kamehameha the Great of the independent island of Hawaii conquered the independent island of Oahu and Maui and Molokai and Lanai and unified them under one government. So y'all got two governments? So y'all, wait a second. Y'all got two currencies, a Hawaiian dollar and the United States dollar. Oh, Lord Jesus. Okay, dollar versus Hawaiian dollar. The dollar, or the dala, was the currency of Hawaii between 1847 and 1898. It was equal to the United States dollar and was divided into 100 cents or 100 kaneta. Okay. What does that look like, though? Your Hawaiian dollar. Is this a Hawaiian dollar right here? I guess that's a Hawaiian dollar. And Hawaiian money. So let me ask you this, Kevin. I've never been to Hawaii. Maybe the BBC need to go Hawaii. Hawaiian, Polynesian brother. Oh, y'all, I'm lost, man. Y'all know this. I gotta start learning some global stuff. Headed to Brexon. Okay, hold on a second. So Hawaii, somebody said Polynesian brother. Hawaii, does Hawaii have two governments? I know y'all are owned by the United. I think y'all are part of the United States. I guess y'all not owned by the United States. What? How does this work? This sounds confusing. Oh, good night, Miss Teresa. This sounds confusing. I probably. So obviously, if I went as a tourist, I probably wouldn't understand everything that's going on in Hawaii if I lived there as a citizen or as a resident. So I probably have a different experience if I go to tour Hawaii to all the resorts versus if I lived in Hawaii and all of the hoods. Probably a big difference. You got me pretty interested in learning about it. But anyway, I mean, I guess I'll learn more as I search more. Hawaiian Kingdom, United States, Polynesian brother. So there's some English over here. You have the Oceans Pacific, but it is still a part of the United States territories, but it has its own, it looks like it sounds like we have our own government or something like that. Two different governments. Anyway, the most important thing you said is they just legalized all forms of crypto and blockchains to have domestic free trade for the Pacific or Ocean Pacific. So are you saying also, Kevin, that that there's a lot of crypto that's being exchanged? Clinton's apology letter to Hawaii. Okay. Clinton apology letter to Hawaii. Okay, let's look at this. I don't know. This is interesting. So in 1993, President Clinton apologized for the 1893 overthrow of the Hawaiian monarchy. President Bill Clinton signs legislation apologizing for the United States' role in the 1893 overthrow of the Hawaiian monarchy. The apology meant as a means of reconciliation with Native Hawaiians acknowledges the historic significance of the event, but the apology does not provide federal recognition of Native Hawaiians as other federal laws provide the American Indian tribe. So he apologized, but y'all didn't get nothing. that would have sounded like they participate in you guys being overthrown. So in other words, the United States came in and basically caused the natives to lose the war or something like that, or submit or surrender. I guess there was a fight that was going on, I guess. But the apology didn't do anything. The apology didn't put no money in our hands. Kind of like with us African Americans, we want reparations. We don't want no apologies. Damn that, them just words. Where the money at? Right? Is that what I'm hearing? Because it sounds like y'all ain't get no money. It sounds like y'all didn't get no territory. It sounds like y'all didn't get no land. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like that's what it sounds like to me. Because it sounds like to me that somebody says sorry, but they didn't come with no reparations. They didn't come with no land. They didn't come with no money. They didn't come with nothing to make up for their mistake, quote unquote. They just pacified you with a apology. Am I reading this right? I don't know. I don't know this. I don't know this history. That would have sounded like, oh, damn, an apology. Okay. To acknowledge the 100th anniversary of the January 17, 1893 overthrow of the Kingdom of Hawaii, and to offer an apology to Native Hawaiians on behalf of the United States for the overthrow of the Kingdom of Hawaii. Why is there an apology? I don't. Whereas prior to the arrival of the Europeans in 1878, the Native Hawaiian people lived in a highly organized, self-sufficient, subsistent social system based on communal land tenure with a sophisticated language, culture, and religion. Whereas from 1826 to 1893, the United States recognized the independence of the Kingdom of Hawaii, extended full and complete diplomatic recognition of the Hawaiian government, and entered into treaties and conventions with the Hawaiian monarchs to govern commerce and navigation. Whereas of January 14, 1893, the United States minister assigned to the sovereign and independent Kingdom of Hawaii conspired with a small group of non-Hawaiian residents of the Kingdom of Hawaii, including citizens of the United States, to overthrow the indigenous and lawful government of Hawaii. So the same thing they did to the Indians. That would sound like same thing that they did to the Indians, they did to the indigenous people of Hawaii. Same thing they did. It's just Christopher Columbus all over again. Repeated history all over again. It just happened in 1893. That would it sound like. I mean, it sounds like we're talking about a history of this stuff that the United States has done to become what we consider to be the greatest land, known to man, which I don't agree with. But clearly, it's a history of this stuff. Going to a place where it's already established and then take over and then act like it's all kumbaya. And then 100 years later, you send a letter saying that you apologize with no money. That's what it sounds like. Woo! Okay, but I really want to get to what you said, though, Kevin. You said that I like learning about stuff I don't know about. I don't know about y'all, but the more I learn, the more I can earn. And y'all might think this is off topic because y'all stuck on trying to get to the money. I'm telling you, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. And so Kevin is putting us up on game this morning, and I'm trying to figure out what the hell he's trying to put me on. I don't take it for granted. I don't take it lightly at all. Now, you said that there is, what'd you say, Kevin? Where's your next statement at? You said that there is all forms of crypto legalizes all forms of crypto blockchains to have domestic free trade. So what is that? Hawaii legalize crypto. Look at this. Hawaii allows cryptocurrency trading pilot after moratorium. The change had effectively been blocked in Hawaii since 2016 when the Division of Financial Institutions interpreted state law governing money transfer businesses as applied to virtual currency brokers. It's now legal for cryptocurrency exchange platforms to do business with Hawaii consumers under a 2-year pilot project that began on Wednesday. So this goes through 2022. A dozen digital currency transmitters were selected to participate in the program formed by the 2 state agencies. The officials said the new Digital Currency Innovation Lab program is intended to position Hawaii as a place where fintech can grow in a way that leads to new economic opportunities. In other words, they're trying to bring jobs. They're trying to bring jobs to Hawaii. Sign me up. I'll go. I don't know. I think I'll go work in Hawaii. Is it pretty cool in Hawaii? I mean, outside of what we see with the whole travel resort type thing, I mean, is it a good place to live? You know? But at any rate, new economic opportunities while protecting consumers. Do y'all notice how I read this and I just interpreted it just like that? I want to get y'all to the point where y'all interpreting news. When you come across news, you can go deeper than what they're saying to really get the message. They're trying to bring jobs to Hawaii right now. And this pilot program should entice some some developers and stuff like that to maybe bring that could be difficult. Maybe bring like a headquarters or a satellite office in Hawaii, which could be difficult though, because now you still have to cross over ocean in order to transfer stuff. But if you're just doing all things virtual, it may not make a difference. Okay. But now you have these 12 participating companies, which were selected from the 19 applicants, including what? Facebook-owned entity, Novi Financial. Isn't it? Oh, no, to go figure. Popular stock investment app Robinhood is in Hawaii. Maui-based Cloud Nalu. And you have these other Apex Crypto, Bitflyer, BlockFi, Tax Trading, CoinMe, all these, right? All of these are exchanges. Wow. So now you learn about this adoption of cryptocurrency, breaking these barriers to entry. And then we're talking for our brothers and sisters in Hawaii. And therefore, we're going to start, we start to begin to see these other dominoes fall. This took place in August of 2020. So that's only 4 months ago. Wow. I appreciate that, Kevin. See, most people wouldn't even went here with you, man. They just act like you wasn't saying nothing. I don't take knowledge from lightly at all. Wow. I mean, that just helps me in my use case. Did you know that Hawaii just put a pilot program together to allow cryptocurrency trading? That's big news. That adds more value to the coins that you guys may own, by the way. Right? If more countries or more states or whatever, more territories are beginning to basically adopt the transmission or the transaction or the trading of said currency, that's big news. Big news. So when somebody says you're looking for news, this kind of news you're looking for. Okay. Wow. And I think there was 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys can come and look at these other videos. If you need a Coinbase link let me go ahead and give you my link. If you don't have Coinbase and you want to get Coinbase, again, if you take these little quizzes and stuff, it's going to you're going to actually get paid for them. You get paid in crypto. So no, don't pass on free money. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be back in an hour, guys. I want to say thank you, guys, to those that, man, this is wonderful. I mean, I love learning new stuff. I love learning new stuff, man. I do not take it for granted. I love learning new stuff, and that's exactly what we did here today. Hopefully, you guys took something away. You learned something, and you start to look at this thing. We started looking at XLM, trying to determine the value of XLM, and how do you guys feel about it? How do you guys feel? Do you feel like, from an investing standpoint, do you feel like XLM is more valuable than its current price? Put that in the comments below. Do you feel like XLM is more valuable than its current price? Now, its current price, again, let me come back over here for you. Its current price is 48 cents. So based upon what you looked at today, you learned, do you feel long-term? Do you feel that XLM, the value of XLM, do you feel like it's more or less or about the same of its current price of 48 cents? That's the question. And then once you answer that question, then that helps you determine how you're going to play or invest this thing. So here's an example, right? Because it looks like Kevin's the only one that's typing. Everybody else is starting to fall asleep. They're like, oh, I can't stay up much longer. This is terrible, right? Speed is value. So here's how I'll say, okay, well, wait a second. From an investing standpoint, if I feel like it's way more valuable than its current price, then I have no problem buying it at its current price, as long as I'm looking at it from a long-term perspective. So I will buy it. Matter of fact, let's just do that. You know what? Let me just show you what I do. So what I do, I say, hey, I learned about Stella Loomis, and I feel like it's more valuable than its current price, and I don't mind paying its current price. Now I got $381 sitting over here that I can do something with. I'm gonna do a market order right now for Stella Loomis, buy it at 48 cents, and I'm going to buy $100 worth of Stella Loomis, right? For later. This is just for later. I'm gonna go ahead and buy it right now. I feel like I'm getting way more value than its current price. And so I'm going to go ahead and fulfill that and get me 206 pieces of Stella Loomis. Now what am I going to do? Now I'm going to bring that thing over to my holding account, because this is going to be something I'm not going to sell, because I feel like the value of Stella Loomis later is going to be greater. The price is going to be greater later, because eventually it's going to catch up to the value. So I'm going to go ahead and put this 206 piece into my holding account over here. And I'm not going to touch it. I'm not trading Stella Loomis. Now that I've learned about Stella Loomis, I feel it's a better investment than it is for me to trade it. And I just want to hold it. Give me a 206 piece. If it turns into a $4 coin or a $40 coin or a $400 coin or a $4,000 coin or $40,000 coin or $4 million coin, it don't matter, right? I got 206 pieces of it, and my 206 can grow and can appreciate value as the asset may grow. And I feel like I put myself in a good position, because I am buying something that is less expensive than what I deem for the value to be. You see what I'm saying? So we just did that together. Now, I didn't own Stella Loomis before I did this tonight. Now I own some. Well, I did own some. I do own some, but I own some more in this account. Okay? I'm going to convert to USDC. Okay. Withdraw that too. All right. Well, this is good stuff. Did this help tonight? For those that's kind of been paying attention, did this help at all? Or this was just a whole bunch of hogwash, right? Something happens when you begin to do this thing called self-education. Something happens when people come together, not just to talk about money or talk about getting money, but really exchange information or exchange knowledge. And then we're able to make better decisions, or what we would call educated decisions. Educated decisions. Because we were willing to exchange something that's more valuable than money. We were willing to exchange knowledge. You see what I'm saying? You see why an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. So then you can say, okay, when I start getting around other people who are willing to exchange knowledge, i.e. the Black Billionaires Club, when I get into places like that, spaces like that, where we have other people who are willing to exchange knowledge, just like we did here today, how much wealthier will we be because we're making more educated decisions when it comes to our money. In the comments below, I'd love for you to share something that you learned today. For this session, and of course, I'll be back in an hour. What did you learn today? I'm simply asking you to answer this question. Was this worth your time and why? Was this worth your time and why? I don't do this just to do this. I don't do this just for my voice to be heard. I do this to make a difference. I do this to make an impact. I do this to help my people. It ain't no fun if my homies can't have none. And Brother Kevin, and Brother Gavin, and Sister Tessa, and Sister Leah, and Brother Xavier, I want you to know that you are my homie. You are my homie. Ain't no fun if my homies can't have none. All right, Gavin said, man, learn to interpret the news. You saw how I pulled all that stuff out right from the articles, pulled all them clues out, interpret the news. Anybody else? What'd you learn today? What'd you learn today? Ooh. Ain't too many people coming over here talking about money. They talking about how to get your money. You know what I mean? They over here trying to do all they can to juice up your ears, to try to get you to spend money on them, and then you find out that you're getting less value than what you paid for. I didn't ask you to pay nothing. I did this for free. Because I don't need your money. Now, of course, you may decide I want to invest because I understand the principles and laws of the universe, stuff like that. It's better to give than give. It's better to give than to receive. And if you give, it should be given unto you. But I'm not asking for your money. Anybody else? What'd you learn today? Woo! That was a good little mental workout. I'll take a little break. Tessa said, absolutely worth my time. You said it best. Investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Well, my beautiful people, I want to say thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of Crypto Talk. We learned some stuff today. We learned some stuff. The most important thing we learned was we learned it together. I want you guys to remember this. That it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we need. And thank God, that's more than enough. Until next episode, which is actually in about an hour, until an hour from now, you guys know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
The new Black Wall Street. Thanks you for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow. We will see you all there at the next episode of The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street.